Caitlin Clark once again listed as probable on the Indiana Fever injury report. We're going to get to that in a minute. They have a chance tonight to continue on with that three-game winning streak that they are on. And let's face it, the record should actually be a lot better. This has been the easiest part of their schedule for this season. It is only going to get tougher from here. So it is important to get a big win tonight. First game ever against the new expansion team, Toronto Tempo, with one of everyone's favorite players, Marina Mabry. Although, of course, actually, it does have one of everybody's favorite players now with Isabel Harrison. But before I get to that, just real quick, because I want to talk about this status report thing, but also what it means and what it has meant with the Indiana Fever in terms of their relationship with their fans and whether that is having a negative impact or not. We're going to take a look at that. But I also wanted to say this real quick because I noticed and I got a few comments, and thank you to those who actually messaged me as well to make sure I saw it, that I've had a couple videos recently that have had audio issues and I'm trying to figure it out. Not that long ago, I had a forced Windows update, like one of those where I went to shut it down. And you know how sometimes you get those ones that are like a couple minutes here or there, boots up, boots, goes off, comes back on, and it's like done. This one was like a half an hour. It was like even make sure it's plugged in, a BioWare update, firmware update, and all this stuff. And I couldn't do anything about it. And don't get me started on Bill Gates and all that stuff. But the issues have been since then. Now I have two pieces of software that I usually use. I have one that is a monthly subscription. I use it. It's got a lot of cool stuff on it. I can do, lives with it. It's really good stuff. And I have another one that I'm actually using, a free open source, and it really depends on what it is I'm doing the video for and et cetera. But anyway, so it looks like from what I'm gathering with what I've used, the one that costs money that I use more often, it's more convenient, is the one having problems with the audio. That's not the one I'm using right now. So especially for this, let me know in the comments below if it is back more to the normal audio because I can't figure it out. Now, sometimes I get updates like on this one and it resets the program, turns the mic off, and I have to make sure that's, you know, reset and all that. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know. So I am aware of it. I am working on it. I apologize if there have been audio issues on some of these. So anyway, by the way, real quick, since you just got my wonderful apology, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I truly do appreciate it. I was going to say we just hit 16.3, but I don't want to because it's 16.3 even. And I know that if I mention it, I'll jinx it. We'll get some unsubs and it'll drop back down. So anyway, let's get into this report that we've got going on right here. Status report for tomorrow. Now tonight's game versus Toronto. Caitlin Clark probable with the back. This is, again, the petty vindictiveness of the Indiana Fever because of the way they mishandled that whole brouhaha, or what turned into a brouhaha with Caitlin Clark missing that one game. And so now they're just doing this for every single game. But here is the problem with that, folks. Besides this in of itself kind of pissing off Caitlin Clark fans because of the petty vindictiveness, we all remember what happened last season. Caitlin Clark didn't play after, I want to say mid-July. Was it mid-July? Something like that, early to mid-July. But for a long time after, we kept getting like, oh, she's questionable, she's probable, but it's looking good for the next game. We're pretty sure the next game is the game Caitlin Clark comes back. And that went on and on and on. And then finally, they couldn't do it anymore. And like, oh, hey, you know what? She's done for the season, which I think we all believe was something they knew long before they made it official. And that did not sit well with a lot of Caitlin Clark fans because, as you know, she's got that type of fan base where people were Indiana Fever games were almost like vacations for some people, or at least mini vacations. They're flying in or driving in from all over the country. So you've got the travel costs and the hotel costs and the tickets, which we know were astronomical. And people are going to games and they're not getting to see Caitlin Clark. So there's a little bit of a trust issue there as well. So you add on the vindictiveness and pettiness of what they're doing here, along with already broken trust from last season. And that gives us massive, massive problems. Look at this. I just brought this up today. Keep in mind, did you see ticket prices like this last year? If you look down in the bottom right, hopefully you can see this. Fingers crossed the software is working. But bottom right for the 200 section. Now again, Gameridge isn't absolutely huge, folks. Like these are not bad seats, okay? $10 71 cents, $11.80, a whole lot of seats at 11.80 in the 200, right? Section 224, lots of rows, section 206, like all the way around. Look at all these 11. I'm just scrolling. $11.80 per ticket. Do y'all remember getting Caitlin Clark tickets in 2024 for that kind of price, right? And we can go through the whole thing and we can look 77 tickets, 73 tickets, 57 tickets, 100 plus tickets. And yes, and even in the lower sections, not as many, obviously, but still 23 tickets in that section, 12 in that, 8. Okay, that one's doing better. 18, 2, 46, 52. Now, obviously, these are less desirable, of course, in this part. But again, even along all the sides, we're getting, 26, 12, 4, 10, but it's all the way around 35. We go down lower, right? 17 tickets. And even that price, right? For those seats, 149 bucks. That used to be far more than that for Caitlin Clark tickets. 8 tickets, 15 tickets, 13 tickets, 47 tickets, 66 tickets. 12 tickets of court A, courtside, folks, courtside. 357. Big number? Yeah, it's a big number. I don't know that it's a big number for Caitlin Clark, but it is, in fact, a big number. And let's just take a look because, again, it's such a massive number. This is where I think the Fever organization doesn't really care because, well, let's go back to 2023 real quick, just so you can see the year before Caitlin Clark. Home attendance, right? We got to scroll. Indiana Fever, next to last, 4,066 fans per game was the average attendance for the Indiana Fever in 2023. Okay, the only team below was the Atlanta Dream, who played in what they play in what a 4,200 seat arena. Uh, and then we go to 2024, and it goes from 4,000 to topping the league with a home attendance of over 17,000, 17,035, and three-quarters of a person attended every game. 17,036 people attended every game for the Indiana Fever, right? The low was 15,022. Okay, now let's go to 2026. They are down at third, 15,826, a low down to 14,000. Now I know people go, well, that's a massive number. They're still third in the league. Yeah, I get it all, okay? And I'm not trying to make it into like the whole the sky is falling, the Indiana Fever are gonna fold and all of that. But guys, from 17,000 plus just 2 years ago, her rookie year, and I'm not including last year because it's a whole weird thing, to 15,800 in her third year, 1,200 out of 17,000 is a significant drop. All right. That is not nothing. 1,200 people is not per game, is not nothing. I mean, that's like little over a 7% decline, right? So you had this was yesterday. And oh, before I even get on to this, because again, I mentioned this briefly in another video, and I know a couple of people pointed out and thanked me, and they agreed that because it's something that's never talked about, and it matters. It matters. Context matters. So what I'm talking about, well, in attendance, it matters because a lot of people are like, oh, when Caitlin was a rookie and breaking all these records, which was awesome. But I think one they showed the first time they went to see the LA Sparks, and they showed, oh, they had more than the average Lakers game. Yeah, but revenue brought in, even with Caitlin Clark at her peak, different animal. So not only is attendance down over 7%, the ticket prices have absolutely plummeted, which makes revenue that much less, right? Like the revenue is down. I promise you, is down more than 7%. Average ticket price is definitely down more than 7%. So you have attendance declining and per ticket prices declining as well. That is a big red flag for the Fever. And you can see it with the fans, right? Here we go. This was yesterday again. The fact that day of game, the Fever are having to promote, hey, go get tickets when you're talking about Caitlin Clark is insane. But again, trust is broken. Their All-Star game was nobody wants to get tickets to watch Stephanie White's boring, slow offense, and CC plays way too much on off-screen, off-ball. It's AB needs to stop dribbling half court. Kelsey Mitchell dribbling way too much. CC's assist won't count. When your coach realizes fast break basketball is entertaining basketball, the fans will come. Cece hitting Temi in the backside, urging her to run, then Cece hitting her with a pass in the lane for a layup. That's what fans want. Thousands of empty seats now. Stephanie White says she doesn't need to please the masses, so she lets refs abuse Caitlin Clark without challenge or protest, and now the masses are staying home. Indiana Fever did us dirty the past years. I'm never going to buy another ticket to the Fever. I'll just watch it on TV. Let CC cook and they will come back. No games, no lies, no more disrespecting the fans. Are we not selling out? Is it the 78 average points per game? Herb, please offer Sandy a job. Offer Sandy a job. She has no ego and lets Caitlin play her game. Who wants to waste money watching CC22 ride the pine? Will your coach care if CC gets hurt or sit there, blah, 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 right? On and on and on. These are the types of comments that the Indiana Fever are constantly getting now from the fans. They're tired. They're tired. They're tired of all of this nonsense. And fingers crossed that it changes. I hope it does change. I hope I mean, I would love nothing more than to see the Indiana Fever figure it out, take a step back and be like, hey, man, we've got Caitlin Clark. We got to change it up. We got to run the offense that suits her. We've got, if they made all these changes, fantastic. Even if it's the same people in place, I will embrace it. Y'all know, no matter how I feel about an individual organization, if they do something right, I'm going to admit it. I'm going to praise them for it. Hopefully the Fever can eventually figure it out and start doing some things right. But anyway, and here's the question that I ultimately wanted to get to with all this. If you're someone who would love to watch Caitlin Clark, and maybe in your mind you're going to make plans for a game at some point this season, has it changed at all? Has it been altered at all? Have you been like, it's too much of a risk right now, or even are you just upset with the way the team plays? Let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. I will talk to you later.